Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki jai ho. ISKCON Fundadacharya, Beauty Fundadacharya, People of the whole world, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. Vrindadevi Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Hare Krishna devotees who are joined online and also offline. So we will chant different prayers today. We'll chant the Mangalacharan and then we'll start into the discussion. So let's chant these mantras. You're able to see the screen. Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanshat Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sadevam Sadvitam Sagadutam Parijalasaidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Pagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Shat Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Premaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sthaya Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanyavi Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Nirmanta Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojjvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaurakarna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Jivitarini Rupanuga Viruddha Bhachittanta Dvantaharini Namo Gaura Kishoraya Lakshna Vairagyamurtaye Vipralambara Pure Padam Vidayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sanchidanandanaine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava स्वाम निष्ठेष्ट सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौमा श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमानन्दे कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्याय नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। जयतां सुरतो सङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्बोजो राधा नमो नमः। दिव्यहिन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमाद श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा श्रीरघोविन्ददेव्यो प्रेषाभिषेजमानौ स्मरामि। श्रीमान् राजरसलम्बी बंशीवरदटस्थितः दर्शन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनद श्रियेस्तुनः तप्तकाञ्चनगौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we will start our discussion and analysis on the concept of attracting mercy to ourselves. Just as a prelude, Srila Prabhupada gives an example of a ocean of mercy, you know. So please share the point, sorry. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada gives an example of how the mercy comes from the ocean of mercy. Who is the ocean of mercy? It is Lord Krishna himself is the ocean of mercy. From that ocean of mercy, how does the mercy come? There's a mercy cloud which gets created, okay, in the form of spiritual master, who comes and showers the water of mercy in the entire world, right? So now, when that water is flowing, the ocean of mercy, the water is flowing, the clouds. Now it's about the recipient. Now sometimes the rain falls even in the ocean also. Rain falls on a stone also. Rain falls on a very soft land also. Right? If the rain falls on a stone, the stone will not absorb that water. If the rain falls on a very fertile ground, the water gets absorbed. Hmm? So the mercy of the Lord is available in the form of a spiritual master giving out his mercy. This always exists. But now it's all about the recipient, his state of consciousness, his state of affairs, that defines as to how much we can take the mercy and move forward. Okay. So now let us read this particular paragraph. Okay. again with this context in mind, hmm, that how we have to be in a state of affairs, in a state of consciousness, so that we will be able to receive the Lord's mercy. Okay. Lord Krishna said to King Yudhishthira, my devotee is not deterred by any adverse conditions of life. He always remains firm and steady. Therefore, I give myself to him. The word used is here, therefore, I give myself to him. Krishna becomes Bhakta Paradinaha. Hmm? He becomes controlled by his devotee. Why? Because Krishna's devotee is not deterred by any adverse conditions of life. He always remains firm and steady. Now, adverse conditions of life obviously means things not happening in line with our expectations, right? But it also can be inferred that when I am becoming kind of highly elevated in Satoguna, seeing how to control this world, to have happiness in this world, that is also deterrence only. Okay, that's also a deterrence. Therefore, so he always remains firm and steady. The words use this firm and steady. Firm and steady in what we also have to look at, understand. Therefore, I give myself to him and I favor him so that he can achieve the highest success of life. So, Krishna gives himself to that particular devotee and favors him so that he can achieve the highest success of life. To even to achieve the highest success of life, we need the kripa of Krishna. Krishna giving himself to that particular devotee, and then he will be able to achieve the highest success of life. Okay, I read this statement 2 times. I hope some connections would have fired in your head. Okay. If not, we'll fire it. Okay. Hmm? The mercy bestowed upon the tried devotee by the Supreme Personality is described as Brahma, which indicates that the greatness of that mercy can be compared only to the all pervasive greatness of Brahman. Hmm? Bhuri Kripa. You say, oh, great Kripa I got. It's not Bhuri Kripa. Here we are talking about a Kripa of Brahman Kripa. Huh? My God, Brahman is how big? It is all pervasive. It pervades both the spiritual and material worlds. And how big is each universe? We have discussed also, right? Even even as per the scientific understanding also, our understanding of science, our understanding of the size of the universe is much bigger than what the scientists claim as visible universe. Not such one universe as multiple Brahmandas. Okay. All is only Ekapat Vibhuti. All the Ekapat Vibhuti and Tripad Vibhuti all together is the entire existence of the Lord and entire existence of such Lord. He is in this Brahman, and that mercy is compared to a Brahman. Wow, amazing. Okay, amazing. Hmm? So Brahma means unlimitedly great and ultimate unlimitedly expanding, and that also is expanding, right? So that mercy is also described as Paramam, for it has no comparison within this material world. Hmm? Paramma means what? Para. Huh? Para and apara. Apara means coming in the jurisdiction of this material world. This is para, paramam. For it has no comparison within this material world, and it is also called sukshmam. Very, very fine. Okay. So the nature of our mind, according to Ayurveda, one of the qualities of mind is very, very sukshma, very, very fine. It also runs very, very fast, itar and titar, and it also very sukshma. It can get into very, very penetrating, it can go. So very, very fine. Not only is the Lord's mercy upon the tried devotee great and unlimitedly expansive, but it is of the finest quality of transcendental love what? Love between the devotee and the Lord. So it is again very important. The mercy should lead to certain goal. We have read also in the Mangalacharan prayers the three sections of knowledge: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. The Prayojana is the transcendental love between the devotee and the Lord. Such mercy is further described as Chinmatra. You are able to read here. I mean, shall I expand it further? Little bit. Little bit better. Okay. Okay. This is okay. Hmm. So the use of the word matram indicates the absolute spirituality with no tinge of material qualities. See, we can also receive some material mercy. I go to a doctor, I get a good medicine, right? Medicine, nowadays to find a good doctor is also a big, research, huh? Right? A good doctor who is uh, not, affected by material motivations. Service. Huh? Service minded. With only service minded and get a medicine. Finally, you get that and then find you get cured. That is not spiritual mercy. It is material mercy. You may use the material mercy for Krishna's purpose. That's a different point. But that's a material mercy. You know? That mercy is also called Sat, eternal, and Anantakam, unlimited. Since the devotee of the Lord is awarded such unlimited spiritual benefit, why should he worship the demigods? Now it means it can be not only the devatas, no, anybody in this world holding the power or wealth. Where I go to that person, okay, and seek that power, be it a person in administration like the ministers or the MLAs, or say in my ordinary business world, some investors and like that. All such kind of people are holding, wielding power and money and stuff like that. All the opulences, 6 types of opulences. Somebody is very, very educated, so they have very good knowledge. Somebody is very, very beautiful, and hence they hold that. Somebody is very, very austere, and they hold that as a place of power and control that, right? So there are 6 different types of things of opulences are there, right? So why should we worship anybody when a person will get unlimited spiritual benefit? A devotee of Krishna does not worship Lord Shiva, Brahma, or any other subordinate demigods. He completely devotes himself to the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So very, very interesting paragraph wherein Lord Krishna, in his exposition to Yudhishthira, brings about the quality of a tried devotee. So I have asked 3 questions. How do we receive more mercy? I compiled the answers given by the various devotees. What should be our view of the world that attracts mercy? What should be my reaction to pain and pleasure to get the mercy? So before we dwell into each individual devotee's answers, I thought I'll take you probably, now it's 9:05, 10 or 15 minutes. We'll dwell into the lives of the acharyas, especially our contemporary acharyas, and more specifically Srila Prabhupada. And if we get time, we'll also see examples of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada was like a ordinary grihastha. He was just taking care of his family. He was having a big family, not a small family, just to create a context and going back to his times. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada had how many children? 5 children. 3 sons and 2 daughters. Apart from that, his other sister, Pishima Bhavatarani, she loses her husband and then she also shifts her family to Srila Prabhupada's house. Not only that, Srila Prabhupada's wife's brother becomes, for whatever, economic reasons, becomes, bereft of money and things like that. Even his family also comes and stays with Srila Prabhupada. Such a big extended family Prabhupada had to deal with. Hmm? These all are not new, right? If you go back to our own previous, grandfathers and great grandfathers, it's not a unrealistic world view, right? India was like that. India was fighting the poverty, right? Somebody. I'm sorry, yeah, mute. Yeah, it is. Okay. So these are all not unrealistic realities of what India was fighting poverty and things like that. So Srila Prabhupada had 2 huge factory establishments, one in Calcutta and in sometimes for a while in Lucknow, for a while in Prayagraj. So with all of these things, Prabhupada was managing one order which he got from his spiritual master. What was the order? To message in the Western or in English speaking. Yes, to spread the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya in the Western world or to the English speaking world. Right? That was the order he got. He was trying his best. And by various reflections, Srila Prabhupada, what the orders which he was getting from his Acharya was only becoming more and more tough, huh, to deal with. Okay. His god brothers were not helping him anyway. Okay. For whatever their own reasons. Okay. Now, we shouldn't blame the god brothers. Rather, probably the god brothers are creating a circumstance for Srila Prabhupada. Creating a circumstance wherein Srila Prabhupada shows his determination and shows us how to act in various circumstances. Hmm? So Srila Prabhupada was struggling all through in India in various ways, trying to fulfill the orders of his spiritual master. So then, to gain more inspiration, Srila Prabhupada used to come to a place called as Shantipur, Advaita Angan, Advaita Acharya's place. Because at that place of Advaita Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, and various stalwart devotees used to discuss as to how to spread the mission of Sri Chaitanya across the world. Okay? So just to take inspiration over there, Srila Prabhupada, while being in the Grihastha days, while being in the Vanaprastha days, he used to regularly travel to Shantipur and chant his rounds. So, many times, as that Pujari also recollects, he used to see, one Bengali gentleman, that is Prabhupada, okay, he used to, profusely be in tears. Imagine now we are talking about not having tears for material things, not the things which are there in front of us, the pains and pleasures of this world. Huh? Srila Prabhupada was not crying because, say one of his son became crazy and became a communist. The first son, Mathura Mohan De, who received lot of mercy from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, unfortunately becomes a communist. By whatever the circumstances of the life had thrown in front of Srila Prabhupada. So very tough, huh? What the things which Srila Prabhupada has experienced. Srila Prabhupada also experienced a circumstance like one of his son, the second son, okay, becomes crazy. He was lost. He was not found for many years. Later on again, one of his other god brothers, for somewhere they find him and then, bring him. So these are all the circumstances which Srila Prabhupada was going through. He was not crying for those things. Huh? His cry was only how to fulfill the orders of his spiritual master. So like that he was struggling through in India in various ways and means. He was trying his, he wasn't alone because as I rightly said, even the Gaudiya Math was very strongly established by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Later on days, because of various, motives becoming manifested over there, so the mutts fell apart. Various disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur took over the missions in their own way, and thus nobody was practically ready to help Srila Prabhupada. And I'll tell you, we should all read and reread, what was happening to Srila Prabhupada in the early days. And in fact, recently, our team has concluded a lot of research. In that we will try to share that Excel sheet, our team of devotees. It's like more than thousands of lines are there. Actually, what is there in Leelamrut is very, very limited. We went and searched Acharya Prabhakar's diary, we got one. Acharya Prabhakar happens to be the first disciple of Srila Prabhupada in India. What are his reflections? There was one devotee named Bahushira Prabhu. Okay, he went around and interviewed those many devotees for the first volume of Leelamrut. Many of these pastimes, when it was coming to our Satswarup Maharaj, Satswarup Maharaj couldn't believe those pastimes and he left it as, may not be relevant for bringing it to the Leelamrut. We got hold of those notes also. Okay, so we have all of those things. So our devotees have done those research. Okay. So anyway, so the point is, all through Srila Prabhupada was kind of dealing with this material world with ekantamatihi, with one pointed attention. So in the Shantipur, so he came just 2 days before going to the west, before boarding on to the Jaladuta. He goes to Shantipur. At that time now, suddenly this devotee sees, this pujari sees Srila Prabhupada as in the sannyas besh. Okay. So he was in the sannyas besh. So he was surprised. But this time the devotee sees that Srila Prabhupada was in far more grave mood. Okay, he was chanting and he was very deeply affected with emotions about going on a journey where nobody has attempted in this entire recorded history of humanity. Nobody has attempted the mission until then to spread the pristine message of Lord Sri Chaitanya. So while Prabhupada was, profusely was, weeping, so then this devotee, takes the courage to understand who he is. Why suddenly he has taken sannyas and why he's crying. So then Chaitanya and then Srila Prabhupada narrates his mission of his Gurudeva has given such a very, almost a mission impossible for him to execute. And because of that mission impossible, he does not know how to do. And he's asking to that Pujari of Shantipur, okay, can you give me mercy? Okay. So, like, this devotee is a simple Pujari. Okay. What he has. Okay. He says that, in front of what I have. Okay. So, whatever I have, I can give. Like that he says. But see the consciousness of Srila Prabhupada. Huh? In his journey towards, it's not journey of on the board of Jaladuta alone. It is journey of trying to fulfill the orders of his spiritual master. So on the way the Jaladuta, Srila Prabhupada experiences a lot of difficulty in his health and also gets 2 heart attacks. If you go and read the diary, Srila Prabhupada says, beginning from today, beginning from today down, something like that he says. And he strikes that day, some 6, 7 days, where he was deeply struggling in pain. He was deeply struggling in pain because of 2 heart attacks. So Srila Prabhupada does narrate little bit about it, okay? But we should understand that is a very, very deep emotional state which we cannot understand because we are in Kanishta stage. Srila Prabhupada is a Uttama Adhikari, okay? That is his relationship with Lord Krishna. So what Srila Prabhupada do for us to understand, wherein what we can appreciate, that is his rendition in the 2 prayers, 2 songs. Okay, let me see if I'm able to get it quickly. That is the Bore Kripa, Paile Krishna, and before that song, that is Krishna Taba, Punya Habe Bhai. Right. I kept it open, but then again it went off somewhere. So let's read this translation of these verses. Krishna Dava Punya Habe Bhai, Ye Punya Koribe Jabe, Radharani Kushi Habe, Dhruva Ati, Bali Toma Dai. I emphatically say to you, O brothers, you will obtain your good fortune from the Supreme Lord Krishna only when Srimati Radharani is pleased with you. Right? It's very important, right? You cannot just force yourself to Vaikuntha. Even there also, it is said, even in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, Lakshmi Devi first asks him, okay, whose Acharya's recommendation you got? Which Acharya's recommendation you got? Otherwise, no entry, get out. Don't disturb my husband. Lakshmi Devi will say. Okay, so in the same way, Radharani also, we have to please Radharani first. Okay, so how do you do that? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, the son of Mother Sachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is the great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna at different places throughout the world. So on and so forth. He says that, that already by the mercy of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, okay, by his strong desire, already the name of Lord Gauranga is already spread throughout the countries of the Western world. Not only that, in the towns, cities, villages on the earth, and also the oceans and seas and rivers and streams, everyone will chant the holy name of Krishna. Means by mercy of spiritual master, already this is done. The service is done. As the vast version of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conquers all the directions, a flood of transcendental ecstasy will certainly cover the land. When all the sinful, miserable living entities become happy, the Vaishnava's desire is then fulfilled. Now, although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy or fit to do it. I am very fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, Now I am begging for you, I am begging for your mercy, so that I may become worthy. For you are the wisest and most experienced of all. That is a very important transition, okay, which we have to understand. I will read the next verse translation and again we'll come back. If you bestow your power by serving the spiritual master, one attains the absolute truth. One's life becomes successful. If that service is obtained, then one becomes happy and gets your association due to good fortune. To prove the statement, Srila Prabhupada quotes a verse from Prahlad Maharaj's prayer. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with the material desires, one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? So now what is the point here is being mentioned here. Spiritual master gives us a service and we have to do that service. Now to do that service, because in the case of Srila Prabhupada and Uttamadhikari, the service given to him by his Gurudev was almost a mission impossible. Okay. For that mission impossible, what has to happen? Unless he is empowered by Krishna himself. Huh? So you will get the Krishna Shakti from Krishna to do the service of the spiritual master. And then you please spiritual master. And by pleasing spiritual master, you would go back to Godhead because spiritual master is recommending you. Understood a very interesting principle here. What is the interesting principle here is how to get the mercy. No? You would get the mercy of spiritual master in the form of getting a order to be executed. Now that order to execute, okay, you have to struggle. Hmm? And how do you struggle? You struggle and then pray to Krishna. Now you go to Krishna, I want this benefit to, okay, I want some material wealth, I want some transaction to be fulfilled, or any other material things, then forget, yeah, where you are, you are in material world. Okay. You are still in the world of trying to fulfill your material desires. Now we are talking about getting out of the, not only getting out of the material world, understanding the right value systems, understanding the love of Godhead, and seeking only pure love of Godhead through the order of the spiritual master and trying to fulfill the order of the spiritual master by taking the power from Krishna. So this is a way of getting mercy from Lord Sri Krishna. Okay. So now you see, having obtained that kind of a mercy, okay, what will happen? Tumi mora chira sati buliya mayara lati kai yache janma janmantari aji punah yesu jog jadi hoy joga yog tabe pari tu he mili pare. O Lord Krishna, you are my eternal companion. Forgetting you, I have suffered the kicks of Maya birth after birth. If today the chance to meet you occurs again, then I will surely be able to rejoin you. Oh dear friend, huh? In your company, I will experience great joy once again. In the early morning, now see, immediately when Srila Prabhupada is writing these prayers, that one great emotion has, Udaya, that emotion has come, erupted in his heart. What is that emotion? Oh dear friend, in your company, I will experience great joy once again. In the early morning, I will wander about the cowherd pastures and fields. Means Srila Prabhupada is in the Vrindavan mood. He has already now gone to the Vrindavan mood. Running and frolicking in the mini forests of Raja, I will I will roll on the ground in spiritual ecstasy. Oh, when will that day be mine? Today that remembrance of you came to me in a very nice way. Huh? Because I have a great longing, I call to you. I am your eternal servant, and therefore I desire your association so much. O Lord Krishna, except for you, there is no other means of success. So, this is how a devotee has to lead his life. Okay. So, by the mercy of Lord Sri Krishna, already Srila Prabhupada has achieved that, right? Hmm? So this all Prabhupada is all actually demonstrating, right? He is never in this Maya, never in this Maya world, even when he was dealing with family members and all of those things and all. But he is trying to demonstrate how we should live our life. Acharya means Achinoti et Shastram. Hmm? So while he was dealing with his God brothers, while he was dealing with his material world, that is the important principle he was using. What is the important principle? Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha karunandana bhavashakagnanta buddhayo avyavasayinaha. His brain is not multi-brained, multi-branched into some hundreds of things to deal with. He is stead focused on Vyavasayatmika buddhi. What is the Vyavasayatmika buddhi? The Vyavasayatmika buddhi of fulfilling the orders of the spiritual master. Please go and read that verse again. We are running short of time, 2.41. Please read that properly, reread and reread again. Okay. From this context of getting unlimited mercy. Hmm? Hmm. So if you see, Achyutananda Maharaj also once, in his reflections, this again there's a book called as Blazing Sadhus. Okay. So he writes a book called as Blazing Sadhus. So there he contrasts the austerities performed by the yogis and the austerities performed by a preacher devotee. Okay. He says that, because this Achyutananda Maharaj, he was in India, he was going around. Prabhupada told him to be in India. That was his, and he's the one who has translated all the Vaishnava Acharya songs. The songs of Vaishnava Acharya book is translated by Achyutananda Prabhu. Prabhupada orders him to do that, right? And he also learns Bengali and all of those things and that. Many wonderful things were happening. He went on and defeated many big stalwart acharyas, Achyutananda Maharaj, okay, Mayavadis, and even Madhva sannyasis. He dealt with them and then established, Gaudiya Siddhanta is very, very highest one. Okay. So that devotee, he says that why a preacher devotee's austerity is much higher than that of a yogi. Very simple. A yogi has to deal with himself. He's going to Himalayas and doing tapasya. Hey, he has to deal with whom? He has to deal with others or what? He need not to deal with anybody in this world. He is alone, loner. He is doing austerity. Whereas in the case of a preacher devotee, what does he do? He faces all kinds of circumstances. People will throw stones. Huh? People will throw brickbats. People also will praise you. Oh, sir, you are such a great person. Huh? All these things, when it is coming to him, he has to deal in a way where it is Vyavasayatmika Buddhi way. Hmm? So that's not an easy stuff. Okay. Suddenly you'll get praise, you have to deal with it. Suddenly you'll get some brickbats, you have to deal with it. Yeah? So all these things, while he does deal with it in a Krishna conscious manner. So that's the austerity. That's the austerity of mind. Yeah? That's the austerity of mind where the preacher devotee should not get swayed away with all of these things. So Achyutananda Prabhu says, our austerities in that way are far more finer and difficult to deal with. A yogi in the Himalayas did not get the mercy like the way the Pandavas have received the mercy from Lord Krishna. Okay, in the seventh canto, while Yudhishthira Maharaj was hearing the great mercy Prahlad Maharaj received from Lord Narasimhadeva. Oh, Yudhishthira Maharaj was praising Prahlad Maharaj like anything. Then Narada looks at Yudhishthira Maharaj. अरे भाई तुम क्या कर रहे हो भाई? You are praising Prahlad Maharaj. Narasimha just came and given darshan to Prahlad Maharaj and went away. But in your house, Lord Sri Krishna is just coming as an ordinary person and dealing with all you people as ordinary relative. Being part of all of your life, okay, how can you compare the mercy which you are getting versus the mercy which Prahlad Maharaj got? Narad Muni is kind of, you know, static, to Yudhishthira Maharaj like that. But see how Yudhishthira Maharaj's consciousness is. Huh? See his consciousness. Even though Lord Sri Krishna is continuously, being in their home, he is thinking that other Vaishnavas are much, much, much greater than him. So that is a state of consciousness. So, Pandavas, okay, I'm yet to get the hold of my hand on one particular circumstance. But I did read this. Okay, I will try to share that notes. Okay. This was just 15 days before completion of the Agnatavasa or the Pandavas. Wherein 12 years they suffered very much in the forest. And next 11 and a half months, they suffered so much Agnatavasa. Okay. Now Draupadi was being, that Kichaka. The Kichaka eyes her. Okay. She's struggling with that emotion that she wants to maintain her purity. And she says clearly, my Gandharva husbands will take care of you. Okay. But he was still behind her. Okay. And she was actually insulted in the Virata's palace. Okay. Now there Yudhishthira was there. Yudhishthira was tolerating all of this. So then afterwards, Draupadi meets Bhimasena. Okay. Bhimasena was not there at that time. That circumstance, she will explain. And then she says that, she's struggling like this. What is this? What is my stature of my husbands? Okay. Yudhishthira Maharaj is such a great personality. Okay. He taken a subordinate position in front of Virata and is playing whatever the chess or whatever with him. Right? Dice or whatever with him. What is the situation? Why are we struggling like this? Why are we suffering like this? Huh? Until then, Draupadi did not question all of these things. 12 years, 13 years over almost. 15 days only are left. She couldn't tolerate the suffering. Then you should see how Bhimasena also teaches her, about the principles of Dharma there. Okay. But of course, she was not in the mood to listen at that time. You have to deal with this Kichaka. It came to know personal. First she tried to deflect from herself. That's no, you see, all the Pandavas, you're all struggling unnecessarily. Hey, deal with this fellow. But then Bhima again deals with that you should read Mahabharat in a Vaishnava understanding way. You should read Mahabharat. Very interesting. Finally, of course, Bhima agrees and takes the emotion of being very, very angry. Yes, I will deal with Kichaka now. So why I'm telling all of these things is, as a husband or as a wife, we are dealing with a lot of things in our life. But you see, Bhima did not become immediately angry. Oh, what this Kichaka has done like this, I'll finish him off. No, he didn't say that. He didn't get overpowered by those emotions. Rather, he was more focused on that another 15 days, things will get over. Wait. Right? Our thing is will be over and we will be able to deal with all of these things. Right? So these all, we have to analyze and assess. Generally, because it is said that hey, Bhima is very, very angry person. He went ahead and killed all the 99 Kauravas. uh, all those things, whatever, all the 100 Kauravas were killed by him. Right? So, this is not the way to analyze. Rather, the way of analysis is they had a duty. They had to rule the world. That is the order of Krishna. Huh? And while so doing, they went through certain circumstances wherein Krishna himself had put all of, and they are demonstrating how to practice the principles of dharma in all of these circumstances. Right? So this should be our worldview. What should be our worldview? Okay. How do we receive more mercy? Many people, many devotees have rightfully read. These are all rightful statements. I'm not saying that devotees have written wrongly. I'm only trying to see which is higher right, higher correct statement. Serving Lord at at full capacity, not only full capacity, more than full capacity. Okay. Serve Krishna with love and devotion. Yes, definitely, no doubt about it. Following the instructions of the Guru and do devotion service. Now, in the case of our circumstances, what do we do, Prabhu? Srila Prabhupada received such kind of a direct order from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. What about me? Arey yaar, Srila Prabhupada is Uttamadhikari getting and receiving an order from Uttamadhikari. Okay. For us, Srila Prabhupada has constituted a system. What is the system he has constituted? There are, he created an organization of Vaishnavas, okay, wherein there are different Vaishnavas expressing different desires, which are subset of the desires already established, given by Srila Prabhupada. Hmm? So one of the subset of the desires which are, kind of expressed by the Vaishnavas, you take up those desires and try to execute it. Hmm? So while trying to execute it, you will start struggling. Okay, our struggles are Kanishta struggles. Okay, you would have solutions within the system already. Okay. Hmm? So even if you're not able to get the answers immediately from within your, reach of the Vaishnavas, there are much more, big ladder of Vaishnavas are there, in the system of organization. They all will be able to help you to execute whatever little orders you're having. First order which you definitely get is to deal with this world in a Krishna conscious manner, right? We have to deal with this world in a Krishna conscious manner and also fulfill a particular order of the Vaishnavas whom you are serving. Hmm? Rendering service even though in adverse circumstances. So then about, Srila Prabhupada's perception, we already discussed that. So this one is about, somebody said that we have to see this world from the view of the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, okay, wherein every devotee is Krishna's power, right? So that is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is I look at this world from the order which was given to me. That is a way of seeing the world. Anything else, I forget it here. Anything else, I'm not bothered. Whether Putin comes or not, whether Trump comes or not, I'm not bothered. Hmm? I'm more bothered about the order which I received from Lord Sri Krishna. I mean, from my immediate, Vaishnavas. Hmm. So by completely surrendering ourselves to the Supreme Lord and strictly following the instructions of the spiritual master with humility and submission, yes. So these are also ways and means of obtaining the mercy. Hmm. By completely surrendering. The word completely surrendering means has to be really completely surrendering, not easy. Hmm? My reflection is that I probably not appreciate enough the mercy that is already there in my life. The biggest mercy is this human form, and in that human form, getting Srila Prabhupada's association and an opportunity to know his instructions. So my thinking for getting more mercy is to be determined to follow those instructions in all circumstances, good or bad. Yes, good or bad, we have to follow the orders of the spiritual master and follow his instructions. Means try to see this world in a different way. A tried devotee is one whose devotion to the Supreme Lord Krishna is unwavering and refined through challenges and adversity. Some of the qualities of tried devotee is steadfast, faith, tolerance, patience, unconditional surrender, humility, so on, so on, so on. These qualities help the tried devotee cultivate a deep personal relationship with the Lord, and in return, they receive His unlimited mercy and transcendental love. we can receive more mercy by coming out of our comfort zone in the pursuit of rendering devotional service to the Lord. So, the title I gave is Comfortable Devotee versus Pride Devotee, right? So, we have to understand that there is an Upanishadic statement that Kshurasya Dhara Nishitam. The spiritual life is like walking on a razor sharp, a very sharp sword. You're walking on a sharp sword. Already the sword is very sharp. Okay, you'll anyway get cut. Huh? So you're walking on that. Spiritual life is like that. Huh? So while doing that, you need to develop all of these qualities and all of those things and all through again being stead focused on the order. So you would have got an order throughout the year, let's do book distribution. Huh? Take out time. Huh? Oh, family life, always there will be so many things bothering us. Huh? We should know how to, whatever, art of delegation or whatever. Either in your life or in this thing. Take out time to see how you can spread Lord's mission. Huh? So while doing that, you'll face lot of music. Huh? You'll face lot of music, right? Uh, so those things you have to deal with it. Hmm? So that's how we have to live this world. So what should be our view of the world that attracts mercy? I will not dwell into all of these things because for want of time. Hmm? What should be our view of the world? While we are to get that attract that mercy, that I am in this world with a mission. I am in this world for a mission. So it's a missionary view. It's a missionary view. Hmm? To do what? I am very greedy to get mercy. Huh? I am very greedy to get mercy. So how do you get this mercy? Again, two things. See your own circumstance, your situation, reflect on it, become humble, huh? And look at, focus on the order which you got. In our life, as I said, there is an order. There is also instructions to be followed. So become more and more. What is that? That last time I also mentioned. I think no, I mentioned in VK Hill that. Trunadapi Sunichena, Tarori Vasaishuna, Amanina Manadina, Kituniya Sadahari. That one verse we have to, put it in the, whatever the tayato and put it and tie it yourself. Okay. This constantly you should remember that. Huh? There's a third verse of the Shikshashtaka. Trunadapi Sunichena means what? Become more tolerant than tree and become more humbler than Trinadapi Sunichan means become more humbler than the grass. If you walk on the grass, what happens? Grass will not say, hey, why are you walking on me? It will allow to be walked upon. Okay. Trunadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna. You throw stones on the tree. Huh? What will the tree give? It will give fruits to you. Huh? Taroriva Sahishnuna. Amanina. Don't expect any kind of mana, respect from this world. And always give manadena, give respect. In that situation only Kirtaniya Sadahari will happen. When you maintain these first three statements, then only you'll be able to Kirtaniya Sadahari. So what should be my reaction to the pain and pleasure to get mercy? I have nothing to do with this body. I have nothing to do with these pains and pleasures of this body and mind. I will use this only for executing my orders given to me by my Vaishnavas. So that's how a devotee's worldview could be. Okay. So with that, we will conclude. If anybody has any questions, we ran out of time so much. Okay. What is there in the chat window? I'm not able to get it in the chat. Take. So yeah, anybody has any questions?
There's some announcement I have shared on WhatsApp.
Okay, so a few announcements are there. First thing is that, we are going to celebrate Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, Sri Gaur Purnima, on 14th March. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So on 14th March, there is a celebrations at Hare Krishna Hill, and we'll also be coming out with doing Arunodaya Kirtanas. You would have heard about this. You would have seen MPP's message. I would request your help in going out and doing some kirtans. We will give out more details. Maybe you may have to take permissions from your gated communities just for half an hour, 45 minutes. Hmm? Going out and doing kirtans. So each of our KL guides will come to your places. We will do the needful. Hmm? And those who are from the Chaitanya Center devotees who are joined online, maybe Satyasankal Prabhu also will give out more details, making into multiple batches. Hmm? So next is, and of course, in PSN Clubhouse, we are having the Gaur Purnima celebration in the Jagannath Mishra Feast between 10 to 1:30 p.m. in PSN Clubhouse. And yeah, Arunodaya Kirtanas I already mentioned. That's going to be in the morning at 7 to 7:45, right?
Yeah, morning.
I think morning 7 to 7:45. That's some time they have mentioned. I got the detail right up. I don't have the details right away. We'll share the details to all of you shortly. But moot point is, please go ahead and talk to your gated communities so that you would be getting the permissions in time. Because that's the time generally, school buses, children will go out. You will have some difficulties. Okay.
So, Chandrodaya time kids also shall we do?
Huh?
Because the people will be there more, the people who come from office,
Ah.
Towards morning time.
That is the holy also. Holy. They will go into all.
Yeah. So amidst all of these things, we should try because already one sankalpa was already made. So let's try to get and put our efforts towards executing that Arunodaya thing. Okay. And Chandrodaya also, if you want, you can try it out as a additional layer. Nobody's stopping that. So next is, ICVK summer camp is there. We would be starting shortly. So we would request some of the Matajis who are joined online to volunteer for this. And also make sure that we register more children into this particular programs. So one more thing is, we are also celebrating grand Narsimha Jayanti celebration. This time we want to see how we can make the place Gunjur temple, Gunjur land more popular. Okay. We set us a target to ourselves. I've not yet spoken to CPP yet. Okay, I'm still discussing that can we have a 10,000 footfall over there over a period of 2 days. We are trying different themes. The themes are still not yet finalized. Okay. It could be Nava Narsimha theme of Ahobiram or things like that. We are seeing the feasibility of this. But definitely we'll be having celebrations over 2 days, Saturday evening and Sunday morning and Sunday evening also. So first important thing is you have to enroll all of your kids and all of our known people into the practicing the Narsimha, one Narsimha Kauchamanda. Last time because of paucity of time, which we only taught them some 8 verses of Narsimha Kaucha. We didn't do it fully. Now that we have time, 2 months we have to practice fully the Narsimha Kaucha and things like that.
Prabhu, can we exclusively announce Divyam for parents, adults?
Adults also, no?
Yeah, but usually the Divyam is announced for kids.
And
some parents who are interested, who are having little children, they join.
Yeah, that's very important point that, we should also have the chanting training programs for the adults also. So there is also one very big plan coming in. Okay. The Gita Jayanti celebrations will be something we have never seen until now. Okay. This time's Gita Jayanti celebration will be like that. So it will be throughout the year, we have to train ourselves, our kids and family members to Bhagavad Gita chanting. So we will come back with more details. Hmm?
Yes.
Okay, so finally, it is about the Sunday Sadhana program to help devotees deepen their spiritual practice. We have introduced the Sunday Sadhana program. We encourage you to join and invite others to participate in this wonderful initiative. For more details, please reach out to your AV guide. Okay, so these are all the things. So, anybody has any questions? And otherwise, we will end. Very grave subject. Hmm.
True.
Yeah.
Just a question. So from an understanding perspective, it's easy to understand, but implementation is the problem, and not just the verse. So the idea is we need to try and follow the instructions, and then when there are difficulties, it's very easy to then let go. That there are difficulties, and then we reach out that we are not able.
Okay. So it's a very important thing that yes, the theory is understood. How do I make it practical? Okay, in my life.
Sorry, I think it is it's mute.
Sorry.
No, bro, that's it.
No, this mobile is
Mobile,
yeah. People are able to talk, right? Yeah, both are on this on. This mobile is perfectly. Okay. So or maybe next. So the question here is that hey, how do I make it practical? Yeah, this seems to be very very esoteric. How do I make it? Day to day, my pursuit for mercy increases step by step, right? So as I said, that we already have some instructions received to us, from our immediate Vaishnava devotees. Be it in our community, I should increase the Krishna consciousness. Means bring in more devotees into the fold of Krishna consciousness. Hmm? And I also have the instructions to be followed. The chanting of my 16 rounds, reading the scriptures, the daily struggles to maintain my consciousness. Hmm? So while I'm doing all of these things, the preeminent thing which is slowly, focus should be on the order which I received, not just the struggles of trying to follow the instructions. Hmm? In this way, what happens? It's a positive way of developing my good culturing, because that's very very important. Okay, now you're trying your best. Say suddenly some reverses will come. You deal with again in a positive manner. Hmm? And more, Iha Esya Harir Dasya. We have to see this world in a Krishna conscious way. That again requires again reading and associating with the Harinam, Vaishnavas, and things like that. So these are all continuous journeys. So I'm here to give you a reflection, a possibility that Srila Prabhupada had demonstrated certain things. He was an ordinary grihastha. He was never part of any mata. Suddenly he rose to a very great state of affairs. So it means that why he has demonstrated that? Yeah, he would have demonstrated like the way Bhaktisiddhanta Thakura, always as a brahmachari and then become a part of a mission and then start a mission. He didn't do that, right? In 1922, when he met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, he had only one son. He would have left. Anyway, his wife was not at all listening to him. He would have left him, left the family, and then joined the Mata. You didn't do that, right? And so it means that there is a way to cultivate our consciousness by focusing on the simple orders which we get. And how do I make myself more available to Krishna service? Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah.
No, when we wait, when we keep Prabhupada's photo and like we do Guru Puja, so that's no worship, right?
That is
that is also kind of
a worship.
We
Yes.
keep Prabhupada's photo and even the other acharyas. what is the difference between this worship and when we consider demigod as the devotee of Krishna? Let's say we keep
A
photo.
good question. A good
for-
question. I wanted to deliberate on that somehow. I
It
didn't.
was a very strong statement.
Hmm.
So when we keep Lord Shiva's photo, he's known to be the greatest Vaishnava. What is the problem in worshipping?
See, if you look at Pandavas, okay, Pandavas also did the tapasya to please some of the devatas. In the Mahabharata, we see some circumstances like that.
Sun God also they worship.
Huh?
For getting Akshay Patra, they worship Sun God, right? For getting the Akshay Patra.
No, that's a different thing. Huh? So anyway,
Shivata Shiva there.
that he fought, he didn't worship him. Okay. Now, there are instances are there, but those instances are also on the order of Krishna. If Bhaktivinoda Thakur told to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, hey, go and serve Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. If that is acceptable, if Krishna tells to Pandavas, hey, go and worship that particular devata, who is also a Vaishnava, what's wrong? Perspective. Huh? They are getting, he's getting Pashpatastra not for killing the innocent, to rule the world properly in a Krishna conscious manner, to chastise the adharmic forces as a Kshatriya. Right? So there's a purpose. So, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi means what? Focus, razor focused on the purpose. Dhyayato Vishyam Pumsa means what? Focusing on the senses, objects of senses. Right? So, our mind should be on, not on Dhyayato Vishyam Pumsa. It should be Dhyayato Purpose Pumsa. Always focused on the purpose of my existence. Like that. So we worshipping the devatas should be only on the order of our Guru. Srila Prabhupada told very clearly that if you want to worship Ganesha, you want some X number of $1 million per month. If you're able to do that, you do it. And so, in essence, we don't need to do. We don't need to do.
I'm sorry, Guru, I'm dragging. When I was new to ISKCON, maybe 10 years before, when this first I heard about demigod, I was not ready to accept.
Correct.
When I slowly understood,
Yes.
then it became I became comfortable to understand what is demigod. Right?
Correct.
Then when I started accepting in a way that demigods are, I mean, they are also one of the Vaishnavas, like Lord, starting even from Lord Shiva. So then I started looking at them that way. When I bow down, I bow
No,
down.
you should be respectful.
Yeah, but when I bow down, it's in a mode that, oh, you are a great Vaishnava, please help me for. So that is what I did not understand. What is the problem of, like, what is the difference of worshipping? When I.
We don't ask anything.
Okay.
Intent of the worship is very important.
Yeah.
Hey, KL Gates all took them to Varanasi, went to Bolinath. So what are you doing there? You're praising him, yeah. He's a great Vaishnava. Okay. He's not untouchable. What is this? He's a great Vaishnava. Vaishnava Nanata Sambhu. He is who? Lord Vishnu himself becoming as Lord Shiva to deal with this material world. Right? He's like Kala. Right? Right? So there is a clear understanding of who is Lord Shiva is. Of course, which is very difficult. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, two tattvas are very difficult to understand. Which are they? Rudra Tattva and Guru Tattva. These are very, very difficult subjects in Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding. Once Madhupani Prabhu told us in one of the class.
So Prabhu had said, no, when we worship the spiritual master, it is as good as worshipping all the demigods.
Yes, some total of all the devatas.
All the devatas we are worshipping when we worship the spiritual master.
Oh.
See, we have to worship some jivas. As a jiva, constitutionally we have to worship some jiva. You worship some dog, or anything, or some devatas. Instead of doing all that worship or serving all that thing, serve the spiritual master. Right. So we'll end now here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Achha, so those who want to discuss any of the answers they have given, they can connect with me individually. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
महाप्रसादम की जय हो. Very hungry हो गया भैया.